Welcome to Sumner School Business Immigration Basics. My name is Emily Sumner with Sumner Immigration Law, and this is a continuation in our video series on the E-visa classification. Today, we're talking about the logistics of the E-1 and E-2 visa classifications. First, it's important to note that you can apply for an E-visa at the U.S. consulate overseas without having a petition approved by USCIS first. There are a number of other visa classifications that require that you first file a petition with USCIS and have that approved, and then you go to the US consulate for your visa stamping. For example, that's true for the H-1B, the L, the R, some other visa classifications, but that's not true for the E. There is going to be an E-visa unit at the US consulate overseas that will adjudicate the case fully. The validity of your E-visa will depend on the reciprocity agreement between the United States and your country. And that information can be found on the reciprocity table published by Department of State for your country. So for example, if you are from France, if you Google France reciprocity table, a Department of State link should come up and it will tell you how long the visa is going to be valid for whatever country that you're from. And it will vary depending on which country you're from. When you enter the United States, so no matter how long your visa is valid for, it could be valid for 2 years, 5 years, whatever it is. When you enter the United States and show your E-visa for admission, you should be admitted for a period of 2 years. You should check your I-94 record online as soon as you enter the United States to confirm that everything's correct, your name, your date of birth, but also check the validity period. Again, you should be admitted for 2 years. There is a difference between the I-94 validity period and the visa validity period. We actually have another video that covers that in more detail, so check that out if you're not sure about the difference between the I-94 expiration and the visa expiration. It is possible to file a change of status here in the United States to E-1 or E-2 visa classification. That means if you're here in the United States, let's say in a visitor's visa classification or a student visa or any other number of classifications, it is possible in certain circumstances to file a change of status. However, you should keep in mind that you will not be able to travel outside the United States and then re-enter if you don't have a valid visa. So that means you would have to apply for the E-1 or E-2 visa at the E-visa unit overseas, have that adjudicated, and they will adjudicate themselves. They will not necessarily give deference to the USCIS approval that you already have. In addition, you can file an extension of status. So if you're in the United States in E-1 or E-2 status, you can file an extension of status here in the United States. That will extend your I-94, assuming it's approved, which would allow you to continue to work and live in the United States. But again, that itself will not extend the E-visa. You have to leave the United States, have the visa adjudicated by the E-visa unit overseas, and then use that valid visa to re-enter the United States. It is also possible to extend your E-status by leaving the United States and re-entering. So you have to have a valid visa to be able to re-enter the United States in E-status. But let's say that your visa is going to expire in a month or two, for example. Pay attention to the passport validity. You want to make sure that your passport is valid for an extended period of time, but you can re-enter the United States before your E-visa expires and get a fresh 2-year admission period. That doesn't always work. It's up to the discretion of the officer at the port of entry, but that is an option that our clients have used before. As always, make sure you talk with your immigration attorney before taking or not taking any action. Our next video will be our final in the E3 series, and it will be on the E3 visa classification. Until next time, I'm Emily Sumner.